Serie A Matchday 1, a match day full of crossovers and Canadian content pretty much here, like on the Calcio guys. Just Adriano and Nicholas this week. Gianni is out. Adrian, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Unfortunately, it couldn't be the three of us. I know Johnny's out tonight, but match day 1, exciting match day, a lot to talk about. So we're here to give you that recap.
And you'd think Gianni would be in a good mood. Both of his teams won. You know, you'd think he'd want to come on and talk Calcio with us, but I guess other things are more important for Gianni.
He's busy.
Yeah, like a lot of Canadian storylines, especially in the Serie A. But one of the weird storylines, we were just talking about it, Adriano, the NHL or NHLPA teaming up with the Serie A to promote the Winter Olympics, how the NHLPA is returning. We're going to have NHL players again, first time since 2014. So they were at the Milan game. Who was there? It was Nico Hischier, Lucas Raymond, and Willie Nylander, if I remember correctly.
Exactly.
Most random crossover, taking pictures with Rafael Leao. I'll have to find a picture. But, you know, maybe they brought bad luck, Adri, because, well, look, you got players of teams that exactly haven't been doing well. Especially you want to throw in the Leaf strokes. We can, but Milan loses to Cremonese, most Milan loss ever, and to start the season, Allegri, already getting the criticism. But were you shocked to see those NHL players at the San Siro?
Yeah, I was more than shocked. I mean, I had seen like the rumblings on it online before, and we kind of saw some of the posts like prior. But yeah, man, it was just. I was telling you off air, man. It was just an awkward, weird collab, or just crossover, if you will. It makes me laugh, but I guess anything to get that reach, especially with the Olympics, coming to Italy, Milano Cortina, right in the winter. So I guess just that additional promotion. But I mean, I don't know if that Maple Leafs Scaronia came to Milan. I don't know why they couldn't go to the Inter game. It would have been a lot nicer if they would have went to the Inter game. It would have been maybe another 5-0 against Inter, but instead it was 4 Inter this time, and Milan was on the short end of the stick. But yeah, weird crossover, like we kind of said off air there. But hopefully they don't come back for Milan's sake, at least.
I'm just having some technical difficulties. I wanted to pull up the picture. Here, just give me 1 second here. I'm pulling it up right now.
No problem.
Here you go. I have it. So it's Willie Nylander and Nico Hischier. The funny thing about this picture, once it loads, is
it's there.
That Rafael Leao gave jerseys to Hischier and Nylander, Milan jerseys to them with their names on it. And then in return, Leao got Leafs and Devils jerseys with Nylander's and Hischier's names on it. So, a bit weird. They couldn't have put Leao's name or something, or Leao couldn't have put his name on the jersey, but it is what it is. I guess Nico Hischier is the new Romagnoli, taking the number 13. I don't know if anyone's ever worn 88 for Milan.
Not off the top of my head. 88? No, not off the top of my head. But just weird. Like I said, just weird.
Yeah. Closer to home now, in a way, because one of the storylines in the first game of the season, Sassuolo Napoli, our guy is Malcone getting red card. I wouldn't really say it affected the game. It was 79th minute. By that point, they were already down 2-0. It just sucks to see Canadian, in his debut in the Serie A. Already, he kind of had, a rough time at Marseille. Comes over to Sassuolo and red card. I didn't see the red card. I don't know. Was it a straight red or was it 2 yellows?
It was a second yellow, which turned into the red there. But I mean, it's an interesting one because I was watching it live and I saw the tackle, and it escapes me. I think it was on Lorenzo Luca, the challenge, and did he come in hard? Yes. Did he get the ball first? Yes. But just the action of him going through the player, taking him out. I think if he wasn't on a card, he might have just gotten the yellow, or maybe just, I don't know, maybe a warning, just in terms of how the game was going. But Nevertheless, I mean, you have to be smarter than that. It's something that even going back to just Jesse Marsh's comments on Kone, right? Like the talent is there, the potential is there, and we're obviously big fans of him. Like I said last week, the local ties here, but I just kind of molding him into more of a mature footballer. I think it's kind of where Grosso's going to have his work cut out for him for that, and obviously Jesse Marsh and company have tried to start to do that with him as well, because he has the tools, everything is there. I think it's just maybe a bit more of the mental and just kind of rounding out his game, in terms of like the maturity and decision making and stuff like that. Because, like you said, Nick, there's no, like, if I remember correctly, there was like really no need for that type of tackle. To his defense, he did get the ball first. It's just the fact of him going through the player, and I think his trailing leg probably caught Luka or whatever it was. But that's pretty much a foul and a card almost every day of the week, right? So it's an unfortunate situation, because this was a weekend for us Canadians, Serie A fans, to get to see two national team players get their starts for their respective teams. And obviously for Kone, it didn't end up too well, not only on him personally, but Sassuolo, losing to Napoli. Obviously, Jonathan, your guy Jonathan David for Juve was a bit of a better debut, but listen, I think this is something that Kone will have to just put behind him and get back on track once he faces that 1 game ban or whatever it was. But I think I'm excited to see what he can do once he's back onto the pitch, because Sassuolo even picked up another experienced midfielder, Nemanja Matic. I saw they made that official, so it's a bit of a random addition, but again, another one that adds depth into that midfield room. So Kone might have to earn a spot. I don't know. Like, we'll see. Again, like we said last week, hopefully he gets his minutes, because ultimately that is what counts the most. And a little bit of a boneheaded mistake, but hopefully he rebounds when he gets his chance to get onto the pitch again.
In that game, Napoli coming out like defending champs would. Strong start, McTominay, 17th minute, reigning MVP of the Serie A.
It had to be him.
And it's crazy. We were talking about Napoli last week, and this is the team that just won the Scudetto, and then they get one of the best midfielders in the world. Fine. He's not at the same level that he was maybe 5 years ago, Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
But he comes on, he's instantly one of the best midfielders in the Serie A, if not the best already.
Yeah.
Comes on and makes the mark. 57th minute. Just crazy to see, right? For Napoli, you see videos online. I think you sent me one, Adri, of someone recording him running, and it's like, oh, this is not FIFA. What is this? This is real life. Yeah. So Napoli, they got to be happy. It just felt like it was one of those games, kind of like last season, Adri, where they just got the job done. Typical Conte game, right? Nothing fancy. Not a 1-0 win where they're sweating it out. They go out, do the work, go home.
And that's exactly what we spoke about it last week with Carm, right? Like, that's pretty much exactly what he said. We kind of asked, like, what to expect in the game, and he's like, get the job done. Go in, get the job done, and let's not make it a repeat of last season's opening match. Like we said it last week. The 3-0 against Verona last week to open the season was a tough pill to swallow. Ultimately, at the end, okay, yeah, we all know the story. They won the Scudetto, but it's not a way you want to start. And I know we'll get into the more Milan talk and other teams later on, but about how to start a season. But yeah, man, like you said, typical Conte game. He gets the job done. I think with the additions that they've made, just with the confidence of this group. McTominay, like what a player last season, and like just the player that he became, just the swagger that he has this season. When he got subbed off, he's kind of just chilling on the sidelines, and it looked like he was on the beach, right? Like with palm trees in the background, just waiting for the game to end. It's like it's just that swagger that not only he has, I think a lot of the group has in Naples, and it's encouraging for Napoli fans. I think it's a bit scary if you want to look as opposition fans, because I think like we previewed a couple weeks ago, it's going to be an interesting season, and it's going to be a tight race till the end. And Napoli has big responsibility in defending their title, something that they weren't able to do in the slightest the last time around, and I don't think they want to go down that path again. Obviously, like we know, it's a team that's got reinforced. They're willing to spend the big bucks and kind of add the pieces. And again, even with Lukaku down, they were able to score 2 goals. And I think the opening one, obviously, like you said, it had to be McTominay, like the reigning MVP of last season, to score the first goal of the new Serie A season. Like it almost was written in the stars. So I think that was encouraging, and it was the same type of, besides the Mezzarove shot there, it was almost the same play. Politano on the right, cutting in, putting in a cross, and who's there? It's McFatima, right? So the De Bruyne goal, I think. It looks nice. It's all beautiful like that, but like I don't know. Like, was it meant to be like that? He put in that ball and it kind of just it went in, right? Like nobody got a head on it. It was kind of a. I don't want to like downplay it because it was obviously a great moment, but maybe a bit of luck obviously there, and sometimes you need that luck, and De Bruyne and Napoli had it, and they take out a pesky Sassuolo team that is usually a giant killer, like we've said in the past, right? So I think they ultimately Napoli will have to continue on this path. And again, we're gonna sound like broken records, but it's only match day 1, right? Like we know it's a long season in Serie A. There's 37 other match days to go, and it's a positive start. Something that they were able to. Like I said earlier, they were able to change from last season's result. Conte, got the first game jitters out of the way, and the target is on their back ultimately, right? Because they are the defending champions. So, who's going to be able to take them down? Will they be able to repeat? Those are all the questions that many fans are asking and wondering. And again, we'll have to see what happens come the end of the season. But they put a good foot forward to start off the season, and we'll see how long it lasts.
And it's funny, you look at the Serie A table right now, and it's almost copy-paste. It feels like as if it's match day 39 from last season. Inter, Napoli. Yes, you got Como right after. So shout out to Gianni. Como, then Juve in 4th. So it's really copy-paste.
So stop the count. Is it stop the count now for you guys?
Exactly. Stop the count. Leave us in the top 4. But, we might as well talk about Inter. 5-0. Beat down on Torino. Marco Bruni. I don't know if you saw this or if I send it to you, Adri, but like Marco Bruni, his last like 5 matches or something against Inter, his teams have allowed, I think, close to like 15 goals or more than 15 goals.
Jesus.
But
no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, something crazy. But they've only scored 2, and the 2 goals were Pedro's 2 goals last season that basically knocked Inter out of the Scudetto race. So Baroni gets scored on a lot against Inter, but when his team scores, it's a really giant killer. So maybe they were exacting some revenge, especially the 5-0 from the Champions League final. But again, this is classic Inter. They kind of had a different mentality than Napoli. They went for the beatdown.
Yeah, they went for the beatdown, and I think again, like something to prove for them as well, right? Like last season didn't end the way they wanted to, right? They were a bit spread thin, like we've said on the past episodes. They kind of put their eggs in every basket. They had the bench, but at the same points, like it didn't really help them near the end. They needed I think another striker that could have really maybe put them over the top, and it wasn't to be last season. And coming into this season, I saw Bastoni and other players kind of mention it. A bit of a revenge kind of season for them. I think it's when you're that close, like there was talks, and we said it on the show, right, Nick? Is the treble a possibility? I know we spoke to Peter from IFTV and other of our Napoli friend, Inter friends, and treble was the buzz. There was that circulating around the Inter space, right? And again, like I said, ultimately it wasn't to be, but this season they start off on a positive note, 5-0. I mean, that's no joke, and all the usual suspects, along with some new additions, really made an impact. It was kind of like, I felt like last season it was like if Thuram was on, Lautaro was a bit cold. If Lautaro was a bit hot, Thuram was a bit cold. And this game they both got onto the score sheet. Thuram getting his brace. Lautaro, I think it was a goal and an assist, if I'm not mistaken. Boni from Parma coming in and making an instant impact, right? I think it was within the first 5 to 10 minutes that he was on, he scores and makes an impact to really extend the lead. And I think on the biggest name, and obviously Bastoni, just incredible. I mean, just an incredible defender. I mean, I know he's on the Snakes, I know he's on Inter, but he's an incredible Italian defender. I mean, there's not really too much things to say bad about him. Obviously, you're a rival fan, you don't like it, but you have to call a spade a spade. He's just incredible. The balls he puts in, he gets in onto the attack, scoring goals too. It's just the defender. He's just a modern day defender, and it's just one of these things. It hurts to watch as a rival, but it's a beauty. It's a beauty just as a fan of Calcio, right? So, and he's an Italian national team starter player and a cornerstone of our national team. So. But like I was saying, another positive for Inter is the Croatian, was it Croatian? Sucic, Petar Sucic, I think his name is, and just an incredible debut. I thought he had. He's been getting a lot of buzz. I've been seeing on online from a lot of Calcio content creators, and I think it's rightfully so. He's made his debut. I think made a mark getting the assist on one of the Thuram goals. He just incredible. I think adds to that midfield that they already have. That's pretty strong. You insert a guy like Sucic to kind of either take some starting minutes or off the bench. I think is another one is another option for him. But I think he will be huge this season, along with their other additions, Boni. This Diouf guy I'm not too familiar with, so I don't know him too well. I'm guessing he will add some depth for them, and I think Henrique, the wing back too, is another positive reinforcement. But it's crazy because honestly, I think maybe we kind of, at least I did, maybe a bit, kind of downplayed what Inter can maybe do this season under Kivu, and right off the bat, they kind of shushed a bit of the haters, right off the bat, and just like we're saying for Napoli, like we'll say for Inter, like we'll say for Milan, Juve, like all the teams, it's only match day one. So again, I think just managing expectations throughout the season is going to be huge for all these teams. So yes, it looks nice, 5-0. Okay, we did the reverse of the Champions League final, blah, blah, blah. But it's a long season. You're in Champions League, Coppa Italia to come. The Scudetto race is going to be one, I think, till the end. So, yes, it looks nice this week, but I don't think these teams should get too high on their horses just yet. If I would say, I mean, for me, you can't, because there's 37 other games left to play.
You mean we can be reactionary about one game, 90 minutes?
You can, but I don't know how realistic it is.
Yeah. It feels like we might as well just talk about Juve now, because I feel like that's the transition, because last year we kind of had the same thing about Juve. Great start under Monta, and then look what happened, right? Look, good start now. Yes, technically not a new coach, but starting the season with a new coach compared to last year. Sure, okay. It's Parma. That's the thing. It's Parma. 2-0. I like parts of Juve's game. I didn't like other parts. I felt like the first half, there was maybe a bit of lack of cohesion. Just felt like a continuation a bit of last year. But then again, you gotta have a bit benefit of the doubt in that situation. Yes, they have been playing preseason games, but It's the first full game, first competitive game of the season. There's going to be jitters. There's going to be some issues. The second half, obviously better. Both goals coming in the second half. Jonathan David, amazing. So cool to see. I honestly, I was so happy. I went nuts. Like, to see a Canadian score for Juve is just, it's incredible. Beautiful goal too. Obviously, all set up by Yildiz. Beautiful touch by Jonathan David. One thing I'll say though, I felt like he struggled, David, a bit. He missed a couple of chances early on. He missed not a sitter in the first half, but just a ball that was a rebound that was just a bit out of his reach that he kind of missed. And for him to get that goal, it almost as if it was like a monkey off the back early on. You know, like for him, if he would have gone through the game and they would have tied, people would have talked about the missed chances, right?
Absolutely.
But then again, Jonathan David, we talked about Adrian. He's not a player that is going to create on his own. He needs service. We've seen this with Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened with his goal on on Sunday. Beautiful play by Yildiz. That's exactly what Juve needs. I'm happy for Vlahovic to come in, score as well. We'll see what happens with him if he gets moved or not before the end of the transfer window. Yildiz has to be the star. I mean, he's really coming into his own. He's really reminding me of Paulo Dybala at this point. The way he could create. I don't think he's at that level. He's not at that level yet. But just the playmaking style. Yes, again, the number 10. If you're going to compare it to Dybala, and so it's exciting to see with Juve. I think same thing as last year. It's all about consistency. I think this weekend it's against Genoa. And then after the break, which is already next weekend, I'm not a huge fan of. It's like you get so excited for the season, 2 games, and then already there's the international break. After the break, it's Inter. Cambiaso is going to be suspended. Stupid red card on his part.
I saw that. Yeah, boneheaded mistake. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. Like, I saw it live and I was like, it's unnecessary. Like, granted, you're frustrated, whatever, and I saw a bit of like the back and forth. I don't even remember who the player was that he fouled or whatever was going on. But, bro, what do you? I don't know. You can't be doing that. Like, especially like
in the day of VAR.
In the day of VAR, the day of all the cameras. We're in 2025. Like, I know we shit on VAR a lot, and like we shit on like kind of decision making in Serie A and like the refs and stuff. But, like, you know, all the cameras are on you, all eyes are on you. Like, what are you doing? Like, especially like hitting in the face. Like, this is like amateur stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you cannot be doing that. And then, like, you know, you're gonna get 1 game, 2 games. It's like I saw he's gonna get 2 games. So it's like he's gonna be missing, you know, the Genoa and like you said, the Inter game. So just it's a bad look on him and something that I think he should know better. I know he's still young, but something you should know better for sure.
Yeah. It benefit of the doubt, it was just a very reactionary thing.
Yeah.
But again,
you're always going to get caught.
Yeah, you're going to get caught. Not surprised with the 2 games. There have been similar suspensions where, you know, for violent conduct, players are going to get 2 games.
Yeah.
Whatever, it sucks. Defensively, obviously, Bremer coming back, absolutely huge. Less than a year after he tore his ACL. Made a nice stop towards the end when it was still when it was 2-0. So
it almost too. He made the stop, right? It was
yes.
Could have been. It could have been 1-0. It should have been 1-0 right there for Pogba.
There you go. And even him to wear the bandage on his head, it's like Chiellini reborn, Brazilian Chiellini.
With the
although I will say Gatti, his haircut now. I don't know if you saw it. He's looking more and more like Chiellini.
Bro, me and my brother were watching the game, right? And it was like, yo, either you got to fire your barber or you got to look in the mirror and just say, let it go. Like, this is like Mkhitaryan shaking hands with Goran Pandev, shaking hands with Giorgio Chiellini. It's like, I don't know, man. Let it go. I think it's time. Like, I didn't realize he was losing it like that, but hey, I mean, it might be time. You gotta, like I said, you either gotta fire the barber, or if you're doing it yourself, just take the number 0 guard and just let it go.
There you go. Exactly. It's worse than mine, and I let go 5 years ago.
So I think you should take a page out of your book and if Johnny's listening, maybe Johnny's book as well, right?
There you go. Exactly.
Got you if you're listening.
Exactly. But yeah, no, overall, like happy with the win with Juve, but it's all about
2-0, I think
consistency.
was
I'm not gonna get too high.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. And just to bounce off your Jonathan David point, because I think it was exciting because there was a lot of firsts, like in the like for debuts and like goals being scored and stuff of that nature, and like we kind of touched upon with Modric, debut goal, Jonathan David debut goal, right? So there's probably somebody else I'm missing, but we'll probably get into it later. But it's encouraging for him, and because I saw a bit in the game, like I think he still needs time. I think just Juve in general, I think they still need time to kind of still gel a bit, because you saw David kind of, the pass was kind of a bit like it was where he should have been, and he wasn't. Like it was kind of one of those types of things I kind of noticed throughout the match, and I was like, if this keeps up, then it's an issue. But listen, it's match day 1. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He ended up scoring. He was at the right place at the right time on the goal, even though I know a lot of fans said it maybe shouldn't have counted because there was an offside prior to that before the corner. But again, we'll call it what it was. Like you said, Yildiz, I think is a top player for Juve, and I think they need to protect him at all costs. I think he's. I think let's maybe take it easy with like all the overhype. Let him just play. Let the kid play. Like he's a good player. Let him play. Let him earn his stripes. Like you already gave him the number 10. Like the 10 in Juve it's a big number to wear, right? So let him grow. Let him get into his own, and let him continue to have these performances and stuff like that. Because I feel like a string of bad performances, and how fast fans turn right on these players. So let him make mistakes, let him grow, let him play at a high level, and we'll take it from there. But for Jonathan David, like I said, I think a bit more time to gel, and I think he can get going. I don't know how many goals you think he can maybe score in this season. What do you maybe think? Like, is a reasonable
15 to 20? I think 15 to 20 is realistic. It kind of. I think that's the pace he was at with Lille, anyways, if I remember correctly.
I think besides maybe
there was one season where he had close to 30 or around 30.
Yeah.
But I think last season it was about 16, if I remember correctly. But bring up people talking about shouldn't have counted. That's one thing about VAR I never really understood. Like they'll call back something if there's like a slight foul, like 45 seconds before. But if there's like an offside leading up to a corner that leads to a goal, they're not going to count.
It's a bit weird.
It's not going to intervene. Sorry.
Yeah, it's weird because honestly, like I don't want to be like a hater, but like fucking Lloyd Kelly was offside.
No, he was. He was.
I don't know. Like if people saw that, if they didn't see that, I would go back and look at it because he was clearly offside.
He was offside. Yeah.
They didn't see it or it didn't get picked up. It goes to the corner and they get the corner and it ultimately ends in a goal. Does that mean Juve wins or loses the game? If that is a different call, who knows? If Bremer doesn't make that stop on the on that cutback for the Parma player that could have scored, I think it was Pellegrino or whatever his name is, the Argentinian striker for Parma. If he scores that, it's a different game there too. So again, it's a lot of what ifs. But if we want to call a spade, I mean, Lloyd Kelly was offside, and it probably maybe shouldn't have counted. But again, I agree with what you're saying. It's weird with the VAR. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Is it because it wasn't seen? It wasn't picked up. They weren't paying attention. Like, there's still that gray zone, right? So again, we can argue this until the sun comes up. But it's one of those weird things. I do have to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, right now, that rule is just a limitation of the rules. Like, besides the on-field official missing the offside, the officials didn't. The VAR didn't do anything wrong. They couldn't intervene. They can't intervene, which is, like I said.
Okay, so that said it.
No.
That's something you can look at. Okay,
no.
So then there you go. You have to either pick it up or you.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Exactly.
Okay, well then.
Yeah, there's not much. Yeah, especially with like the semi-automated offsides now. You'd think. Or even one thing I don't know if VAR actually intervenes, but like let's say there's a corner, let's say the on-field official rules it goes off the defending team, but in fact it goes off the offending team and then they score. I don't know. Obviously, VAR can't intervene once the goal gets scored, but I don't know if they could intervene like about who touches the ball. That's one thing I've always like. It's such an easy thing to reverse, especially when it's clear and obvious, and that's the whole point of VAR, clear and obvious. Okay, fine. If you have to go frame by frame to see who touched it last, then don't no point. Like give like 10 seconds of VAR, let's say on a corner kick like that to correct things. But yeah, no, it's a limitation of the rule. I wouldn't be surprised if one day they do change it because there will be one goal that's going to be scored in a big match that's gonna create controversy because of that.
It only takes those types of moments, right? Yeah. Like it only takes controversy. It only takes one guy fucking up to screw it up for everybody else, right? Like it only takes those types of things for ultimately for things to change. So I agree with you. I wouldn't shock me if it eventually does change. It's a shame because, again, even in I don't want to call match day one a meaningless game, but it's still it's at the end of it, like who knows? Like I don't know. Does Parma get relegated at the end of the season because of this type of situation? And we look back and we're like, oh fuck, well, Lloyd Kelly was offside and that goal shouldn't have counted and blah blah blah. Like I don't know. Like you'll never know. And so, anyways, it's one of those gray zones for me. I it's rather look past it than really emphasize on it. But yeah, just it's a weird one.
And I think there was a bit of storylines from VAR from the weekend because I didn't see this, but in the Lazio game, there was a VAR call, and now the officials are going to say what the decision was. But apparently the ref kind of yelled it, was very like not professional in the way he announced it or something. And now they're the FIGC is going to hire people to teach them how to properly speak on a mic. I don't know if you saw that.
All that shenanigan, no. Did I see like the action of it happening? I don't know if it was in that game or if it was also in another game that I kind of saw it in. And now I don't remember, but one like he was shouting it. Maybe he didn't realize that like he just could talk at a decent tone and like I think like it'll be picked up. Like he was shouting, like he was screaming, like like my mother, like she was screaming, like what I mean. Like it's one of those things, but. I mean, leave it to the Serie A. Leave it to I like. Listen, I think if anybody listening to this, follows North American sports, I think taking a page out of the North American NFL type of refereeing, saying what the foul is and the yardage and the first down or whatever down it's going to be and. Just letting the fans know what is being called because we've said in the past, like we've been doing this. What is it now? How many seasons is this now? 7, 6, 8, whatever it is. We've said on this show 8, right? We've said it on this show many times. Like we get left in the dark sometimes with some of these calls, and we're kind of arguing it, but we're not even sure what we're arguing because we see it a different way, right? The clarity, I think, has been the biggest thing with the VAR, especially for me. And you know how have always felt with the VAR, right? I do like it. Like it makes me laugh that these guys have to get coached how to talk on a mic. Like that should be fucking like rule number 1. Like preliminary, like training for this type of shit. Like I don't get it. Like I think leave it to Serie A to have it be a comical storyline. I think you can add this to the solo in Italia moment, but for me it's crazy. Like the guy didn't have to shout. I think maybe he didn't realize. Maybe he didn't have to shout. But I like the concept. He didn't have a mic. Yeah, it's as if he didn't have the mic exactly. But you know what? They have to expect this too because Italians are loud people, right? Like we are loud individuals. So I don't even think he probably wasn't even shouting. He probably was just talking normal. That's probably his normal indoor voice. Like he can't be quiet, right? So it wouldn't shock me. But again, like the concept, I don't know, how many times we'll end up ultimately see it. I think it will happen maybe more than we probably anticipate. But yeah, just interesting to me. Hopefully it all ends well.